Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, December 18th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol NUKK, and an absolutely monster move on this one today. Huge volume, big price movement, and now we have ourselves a good solid pattern here moving in to Wednesday. So let's get this pattern drawn into play. And as I draw this pattern, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply this is a great ability or special skill that I have. I assure you a lot of people are watching this pattern. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So we have that area of resistance right there. And then bottom part of the pattern, we have this area of support right there. Let me change that to green for support, and then changes all to the same color to hopefully make the pattern easier to see. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move right there. And then for you golfers out there, try to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because there's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to move upwards, but is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price comes up here and breaks up through that level, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible thought process. So if you like really volatile stocks, you like bull pennant patterns, keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol TNXP, and really there's no other way to call this one other than what it is, and this was just an absolute gap and trap today. Nasty, nasty move. Price gapped all the way up here, open, so it closed right there, and then gapped up. So for you beginners, that's what a gap up is. It opened up a lot higher than where it closed, and then from there just basically selling pressure the rest of the day. So truly a nasty move, and hopefully the people that were buying up around here were disciplined traders using stop losses. If not, they're not having a good day at all. Now, with all that being said, the price is at a very interesting level from a trading standpoint, and that is, notice how the price started to go sideways right there at that purple line, the 50-period moving average. Now, let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because the prices started to go sideways at a moving average does not mean for sure guaranteed this is the bottom and this thing's getting ready to head back up. But is it at least a reasonable thought to have? Is it plausible? Absolutely. So this is one of these scenarios though where if you're not a disciplined trader, I mean, you shouldn't be trading at all, but you definitely shouldn't be trading scenarios like this. But if you can be disciplined, then from a risk versus reward scenario, and if you get not even a huge bounce, but I mean even a modest bounce, relative to what was being risked, you could be looking at a nice risk versus reward scenario. So if you are a disciplined trader, you like to play these sorts of scenarios, then keep an eye on it. Next one here, QUBT, and this one had the bull flag going into today, but got very, very nice breakout through there. So we'll go ahead and just get rid of these lines as they've served their purpose for now. And the current dynamic that's occurring, which is always a fun scenario, fun question to be asking, is right here. As I speak, you can see, and that's why I like to do these when the markets are open, you can see the price is actually pushing slightly above that breakout area. So that leads to the question for tomorrow of, is this the start of something even bigger? Now think about that question. It makes no sense to ask it if nothing worthwhile is happening. But in this situation, something worthwhile is happening. The breakout is beginning. But is this the start of something bigger? We'll have to see. To be fair, maybe it's not. Maybe this thing is a faulty breakout. The price rolls back over. That's a legit possibility. But that is a two-sided coin because, well, I mean, maybe it is the start of something bigger, and this thing's getting ready to rip and roar once again. So the breakout is occurring. Is this the start of another big move to the upside? We'll see what happens on Wednesday. Next one, GOEV, and started off the day very, very promising. Getting closed there, opened up right there. Therefore, there is the gap up. And then, or excuse me, it actually opened up right there. But anyways, went up that high right there. And then selling pressure knocked it back down. So once again, one of these gap and trap scenarios. But what I find interesting about this is it is holding strong at this previous area where there was a lot of buyers hanging around. And that's right here, give or take around the 0.113 mark. So if you go back into the history of things, you can see 0.113 held strong there. Granted, the price dropped slightly below, but again, just kind of a general ballpark. A couple instances right there, price didn't quite hit it. So right there, the price went slightly below. Right there, slightly above. Right there, the price hit it exactly. So that's why, in my mind, and then right there, the price hit it exactly. 0.113 is kind of that middle ground. But this is an area where there has been buyers. So while there are no guarantees, Is it valid to think that if the price were to come down here, it very well could create another bounce off that area? That is certainly a plausible scenario. And then for those of you that are already in it and kind of wondering where's the make or break area, in my mind, 0.113, definitely a very, very important level, because if that area can't quite hold up, then that's just putting the price down at new lows, which, from a bullish standpoint, obviously not good to see. So yes, will the price come down to 0.113 again? And if it does, can it bounce? Grab your popcorn and we'll see what happens. Next one, RGTI, and the upwards move continues from a trend standpoint. Late day today had put in some higher highs. Earlier on in the day, opening 30 minutes, price actually came right up and bounced right off that area of resistance that I talked about in yesterday's video. So the power of charts came back down, but recovered nicely. And then, like I said, late day, got the bounce off here. And then that area right there is key, because that's just a classic rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. Like I said, that's exactly what happened there. Broke above it, came back down there, back test, and back up it goes. So I'll go ahead and get rid of that level. And now the newest area of support is right there at 987. That would be the ideal level. I mean, if you're asked, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest going forward? And that would be if the price can stay above 987. Now, from the bigger picture standpoint, as long as the price stays above that purple line, that is what matters most, that being the 50-period moving average. So as time goes by, keyword being moving, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So it's essentially like an overall trend line that's drawn itself for you. So keep an eye on that. And then in terms of areas of resistance, really just a question of, is this going to break out? And if so, will it be the start of something bigger? So it's kind of a mix between, because it hasn't quite broken out, but it is knocking on the door. So it makes more than enough sense to ask the question of whether it can break out. But from the grand scheme of it all, as long as this thing keeps doing what it's been doing, putting in higher highs and higher lows, that is by far what matters most. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use. Or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, ticker symbol NVDA. And once again, this thing has put in a lower low and a lower high, so the downtrend continues. This level here has been violated. So what I'm going to do is just adjust this level down to where the bleeding essentially stopped today, because that is the general area of support now at 127.20. And just to make a note, when assuming you're bullish, whenever levels of support need to be adjusted in the downwards direction, not exactly what you want to see. So 127.20ish, right around there. Again, that's just where the bleeding essentially stopped earlier on in the day before a nice bounce, but now the bounce is getting rolled back over. Now, to be fair, and I guess to look at the glasses half full a little bit, there is a nice little bull flag pattern here that has formed, but there is a but that comes with it. It is occurring in a downwards environment. That doesn't mean that the bull flag isn't truly bullish and it'll keep on moving. I'm just saying I'd be a little skeptical of it and not get overly excited about it. But in the event this thing does try to push back upwards, public enemy number one right now remains that purple line there, 50-period moving average. And as I talked about previously, that line will continue to move, but instead of being a kind of a level that's moving upwards like the previous chart, this one is now moving in the downwards direction. So it's essentially a downtrending trend line that you'll want to keep an eye on. But overall, got a bit of a bounce, a little bit of pullback here. Like I said, creating that bull flag pattern. Is this a bull flag that's going to be able to fight against the trend right now? We'll see what happens on Wednesday. Next one here, RIME. Probably should have put this at a different location in the chart, because it's one of these where you better be a disciplined trader, because this is an ugly looking chart, but there can be opportunity to be ugly. But I mean, crazy chart when you stop and think about it. Great move up, came down here, and then it acted like it wanted to bounce. Price got up that high, and then just an absolute brutal flush. And now it is at least starting to go sideways. And the interesting area of all of this is, where did it start to go sideways? And that is right down here, not perfectly speaking, but right around this 0.077 mark, which broadly speaking, the price has gotten some sideways action right around that area. So to see it bounce once again, does it guarantee anything? It doesn't, but does it make it at least a valid thought to throw out there that maybe, just maybe, this thing wants to bounce again? Absolutely. So from a risk-reward scenario, meaning if you're going to be disciplined and if you do get some sort of bounce, then relative to what was being risked, you could be looking at a nice little risk-reward profile. So if you like these sorts of kind of quote-unquote opportunity in the ugly scenarios, you're a disciplined trader and you like penny stocks, here you go. Next one here, TSLA. Tesla, once again, higher highs, higher lows, so broken record. And I don't know why this thing wouldn't go up to $500 at this point. But again, there's no reason to think that that's going to for sure happen, because there are no guarantees. But just one of those scenarios where it feels like Tesla just goes up every single day. It doesn't know how to go down. It seems like the days of old with Tesla were, like I said, literally just up and up and up every single day. So moving into Wednesday, the key area of resistance, and there's no fancy logic behind this other than asking, well, where did the party stop today on this one? And the party actually stopped during those opening 30 minutes right up there at 484.25. So like I said, that's an all-time high. Therefore, that's just keeping it very basic. That by definition, that by default, is the current area of resistance. As far as levels of support are concerned, it did reveal a pretty big buying area, I think, down around here, because when you stop to think about the lows from today and you correspond that over to the previous consolidation, again, not exact, but there was this little zone of buying right here, and then surprise, surprise, right when the price got down around there, that's where it stopped and turned around very nicely. So moving forward, 457.50 will be the key area of support, and then as I've talked about already, continue to watch that purple line right there, 50-period moving average, and as that line moves higher and higher, as long as the price stays above it, then just by definition, the overall trend remains plenty in the bull's favor. Next one here, QBTS, and like some of these other ones, higher highs and higher lows, so the overall trend continues. Going to go ahead and actually just get rid of both those lines if they serve their purpose for now. And the first key area of resistance, that stands out to me. Now, to be fair, yes, that technically speaking is the level of resistance. It is the high. But what stands out to me is there seems to be more so an area of selling right around this area, around $8.55. Just going through the quick history of things, you can see rejected there, and even right now the price kind of bouncing right around that area. So yes, no doubt about it, that level is an area of resistance. But my point here is that before you really put any emphasis on, any focus on that level, let's just first see, can the price break up through that level? And if it can, especially if it's a high volume break, then you have to like the probabilities that the price at minimum goes up to at least do battle with that, if not even pushes up through there. In terms of areas of support, main level to continue to watch is that purple line there. So as that line moves higher and higher, as long as the price stays above it, that's what matters most. But in my opinion, at least the most interesting dynamic right now is all about that 855-ish area, and can the price break up through it? Next one here, OPTX, and we have a bit of a pullback here, so let's just map out the pullback. So we have that. Actually, I'm going to try to make this a little bit more of a... I would not call that the cleanest of trend lines, but because of all this kind of just nonsense choppiness up here, it kind of throws off the trend lines. So am I going to say that a bunch of people have drawn that exact same trend line? No, not that exact same trend line, but are a lot of people just looking at the idea that there was this pullback here? Yeah, I think that's a safe assumption. So let's get the bottom part of this pullback here to just illustrate it. So there's the support part of it, and then just to turn it into a pattern, let's keep it one color. So we have the pullback here illustrated by the resistance and then the support. And then you have to say, well, if I care about the bigger picture, what was happening before this pullback? Those people would say, well, the price was here and it exploded all the way up there, which is now giving us a bull flag pattern. So we've had a bull pennant pattern, and now we're looking at a bull flag. So if you like bull flags, you like stocks down around the $5 mark, then I would definitely keep a close eye on this one. I will get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, like I said, the link is down below. Class will be very soon, Thursday, December 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so I hope to see you there. And then also, as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these and you want to support the channel in a super easy, super free way, if you could consider hitting that subscribe button, that really does help out. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. We are now looking at the 4-hour time frame, and each one of these candlesticks here represents 4 hours, and that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7. In order for this analysis to remain relevant for as long as possible, I just want to look at a longer time frame, walk you through some questions, and based on how you answer those questions, that'll determine the current status of Bitcoin at that moment. So let's just assume that you're watching this video 15, 20 hours after I upload it. Question number one you need to ask yourself is this: where is the price at relative to the purple line there, 50-period moving average? If you're saying that the price is up above there, everything is still perfectly fine. Even if there's a bit of a pullback here, but the price is still above it, all that pullback would be giving you is, yeah, you'd have that pullback, but you'd also have that upward move right there. So you'd just be looking at a bull flag pattern, which still makes the chart plenty bullish. Now, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is down below that purple line, next immediate question, okay, well, where's the price at relative to the pink line there? If somehow you're answering the question, the price is down below there, I highly doubt you will be. But if you are, then yeah, that's where things start to look a little shaky. But even from the bigger picture standpoint, at that point, I still wouldn't, be panicked or anything like that. But once again, I highly doubt you're going to be answering any questions that the price is down below that pink line there. And then on the flip side of things, if you're saying, well, yes, Clay, the price is up above that purple line, well, then where's the price at relative to this area up here at the 108,500 mark? If the price is above there, well, then that's just telling you that Bitcoin is at newer highs. And, that's common sense takes over that. Well, of course, Bitcoin is doing very well at that point if it's looking at newer highs relative to where it's at right now. So keep your eye on those levels. Walk yourself through those questions. That'll keep this video relevant and analysis relevant until I'm back to update the chart once again. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely go get signed up for this free class, because what you'll learn about can and certainly should be used in the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So definitely get signed up. Like I said, it'll be later this week, Thursday, December 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, like I said earlier, if you enjoy these, please consider hitting that subscribe button to just show some support. And like I said, it's super easy, super free way to support the channel. So thanks for watching. Go out there and get signed up for the free class.